Your new life will cost more than your old one. Sacrifice is the thing that separates the winners from the triers. The thing about winners is that they are people that do not stop until the job is done. With triers, they're only into it up to a certain point until it gets hard. They cannot handle the stress and requirements necessary in order to move past that point. So that's why they quit and they fall away. For me, one of the things that I'm currently doing is understanding the process of letting go of old habits, old beliefs, old systems of thinking in order to adopt new habits, beliefs, and systems of thinking. Now, I'm not saying I'm throwing out completely everything that I know, but I'm analyzing it through a microscope and trying to pick apart exactly the parts that I need in order for me to function better and more vibrantly. So one of the things that I really want to do in this video is share with you three things. The first thing is you need to start the sacrifice as soon as possible. If you put it off till tomorrow, what's going to happen is you're going to look up tomorrow and think, well, I still feel okay. Like nothing bad has happened to me. I can still keep this thing. So, maybe one more day. What's one more day gonna hurt? And so you do that over the course of like that day, the next day, a couple weeks gone by, and you're like, well, okay, I'm gonna give it up now. Give it up now. Could be that you just got paid from your job. It could just be someone liked your post that you put on social media, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna treat myself. What you do is you go ahead and you go back into those old grooves of bad habits. And then what happens is you find yourself repeating that cycle of putting it off, restarting the bad habit. And then you get to a point where you hit rock bottom, or so you claim. And then you pop up and then you start being more consistent with it. And then you hit that point where you start to go down. So the issue is that if you don't make the decision, if you don't make the action to completely cut off that old way of life, what's going to happen is in the back of your mind, it's still going to be there. But the moment something triggers you, what happens is that you find yourself getting a little spike. What's going to happen is from that spike, you're going to then go on this rampage of doing your bad habits. And so one of the things that I really want to focus on is that make sure that right now, today, you make the decision, the action to cut yourself off away from that bad habit. Step number two is you need to set a goal for yourself. It doesn't need to be really fancy. It doesn't need to be anything that is worthy of fanfare. Nothing Olympic worthy right now. Something very simple. It could be to either like learn a new skill, learn a language, doing something that allows you to get out of that old groove of that bad habit and start developing a new habit. What I found out is that once I'm at the beginning of knowing something, that is when I become the most obsessed about it. And so once you find that new thing that will replace that bad habit with a good habit, you want to make sure that you become as obsessed on that habit as possible. Now that habit can range from anything. It can range from the arts, or it could be maybe learning like a new technical skill like copywriting or video editing or design. And so one of the things that you want to do is you want to really hone down and really like dig deep in finding out exactly the habit that you want to cultivate to replace that old bad habit. So then that way you are not degenerating, but you're simply becoming a better and more vibrant version of yourself. That's number two, get a new habit. And so finally, what I want you to do is to connect with groups of like-minded people in that new habit. Because let's face it, If you are obsessed, like being obsessed about something when you're by yourself is super strange and super weird. Let's be honest, we all know those people. Hey, I'm one of those people. But the thing is that what you want to do is when you're in a community of others, what happens is you tend to find that those people can help really propel you to greater heights in your skill. And what happens is those people that connect you with other people and with other people, therefore expanding your network. And one of the ways that I myself did this was by starting my own podcast. And in doing that, what happened is I was able to connect with different entrepreneurs and musicians, even a billionaire as well. One of the things that that really does for you is it allows you to be able to see how life can be with that new habit and that new skill that you've developed. Because in taking that skill and that habit, what happens is that you're able to now become a better person than you were if you had stuck to the old way of life that you had before. It's time for a new way of life. You're ready to accept it. If so, like this video, subscribe to the channel to get more videos like this, and I'll catch you in the next one.